Well, hopefully we're getting a two-camera shoot. I can't tell if I have a camera on board or not. I did, well, let me back up. When I did the test ride the other day, what happened was I went through a bumpy intersection, which caused the battery compartment door to unlatch, and the hinge on the battery door was just not strong enough to support the camera, and so the rest of the camera left the bike, leaving me the battery door. Oh, excuse me again. Found the camera. It wasn't very far. It bounced off, like I said, as I went through an intersection. I was able to retrieve it. Unfortunately, I lost the SD card out of it. It actually flew out of the camera as it was doing its tumble. Camera did take some dings. It still kind of works. We're using it right now. This is the All Bar Cafe here on the right. And if you want a really lousy green chili cheeseburger, if you want a really good burger, you come over here to Manny's Buckhorn and you get a good burger. They claim number 7 in America. I'm not sure where that comes from, but it's a damn good burger. Anyway, back to the camera. When I said I found it, of course the batteries had gone flying. So I put new batteries in it, put another SD card in it. Hey, turned it on, what do you know, it works. Shot a little bit of video. Video came out, so I'm lucky. It's on the back of the bike now, and yeah, looking at the shadow, it's still there. So we'll see. Hopefully I get some video. I'm not sure how I'm going to represent or how to handle the second camera, but I'm sure that'll come to me once I get everything uploaded to the computers and all that kind of stuff. Alright, that was San Antonio that we just drove through. I'm now on Interstate 25 headed back north to Socorro. It is a bit windy, but not quite as bad as down below. Okay, let me rephrase that. It is bad. Wind's coming from the left now. As I went through that, as I go through these canyons, it's still pretty damn gusty. One of the comments that was made about my first test video was to try to get more gauge action. Oh, excuse me again. Was to get some more gauge action in the video, and I've really decided against that. The top of the gauges is just fine looking through the fly screen. Because what's going to happen is I do have a tank bag that I do mount for the longer rides, and the camera will interfere with that tank bag if I try to mount it farther back. That also means I need to get a different ram arm for it, the 5-inch over the 3-inch. And so I'll just let it be. Also, another thing too is my speedometer is not accurate. I have measured it on flat grounds with GPS on multiple runs, and I have my speedometer basically reads about 10% over the speed that I'm actually doing. So I just round it to the nearest 5 miles per hour, and that's close enough for me. I am thinking about getting it, the speedometer calibrated under warranty, because I do believe an accurate speedometer is a nice thing. Feels like I'm getting hit with about 30 to 40 mile an hour crosswinds as we come through these canyons. We'll say if you're not used to it, they can really be disconcerting on a motorcycle, because it will move you around a bit. Kind of a technical thing to talk about here. I don't know if it's good or bad, but it's something that I do. When I'm getting ready to park either of my bikes for the day, before I actually put the bike away and while the motor is still running, I will actually close the fuel valve to drain the float bowls in the carburetors. And store them that way, and that just, in my opinion, helps to prevent gunk from forming in the carburetor itself. I don't know if it's good, bad, or other. But with the Enfield, I find that I don't have problems starting the bike, as many problems starting the bike with when I leave the fuel bowl drained rather than leaving it full. If anybody wants to refute that or whatever, that's fine. That's just what I do. Basically part of the normal maintenance routine. And I pay attention to that more so during the winter than I do during the summer. Oh, I think I'm coming down with something. But yeah, I pay attention to that more so during the winter than the summer for the very simple reason that during the winter, there can be times when, instead of riding the bike every couple of days, I might be 4 or 5 weeks before I could ride the bike. Generally, the winters here are mild, but we do get cold temperatures. And also we do get snow, even though I'm down in New Mexico. We actually do get snow. We are part of the Rocky Mountains. I'm basically up at a mile. Hope you guys are enjoying the ride. That was just a quick trip down to San Antonio, kind of a lunch de-stressor. I make that ride during the summer many times a week. It's what I do during lunch, and then once I get back home, I'll grab something really quick and head back to work. We're back here in Socorro now. I don't know gear. I'm still working out what gear to keep it in for the lower speeds. You know, right now I'm doing 40 miles an hour, third gear, 3,000 RPM. That's right at the, pretty much at the bottom of the peak of the torque. We peak at 3,500. So that gives me just enough room if I have to blip it to get out of the way of something. It's just, you know, a real quick blip. I have the torque available instantly. But I think that's personal preference. Well, I hope you all enjoyed the video. I'm really anxious to see what it looks like. See you on the next one.